Here's a mandolin tip for recovering violinists. Number 1, open strings are not your enemy anymore. As a 20-something-year classical violinist myself, I know why we use the fourth finger all the time. It's a different tone color, and you don't have to move your arm around as much doing a string crossing. But on mandolin, that doesn't matter as much. The string when it's fretted sounds pretty much the same as when it's open. And the string crossing is just a matter of a wrist motion, not a whole arm motion. I first encountered this concept when I was playing this song for Mike Marshall, and he asked me, why are you using your fourth finger all the time? Why aren't you using the open strings? I didn't have a great answer, but I've learned open strings don't really hurt you, and it actually hurts less physically. You're not putting as much strain on your hand hitting that fourth finger all the time. So use the open strings and enjoy life a lot more, like this. Recovery is possible. Have fun. Here's another mandolin tip for recovering violinists. Number 2. Your fourth finger is not just for flats anymore. It's for sharps. Specifically, try using your fourth finger on the 6th fret a lot more when you play a C sharp, a G sharp, or a D sharp, and this is really helpful in the keys of D, A, and E. Now, why is this really a change? Well, we violinists sometimes feel the urge to prove our worth next to the viola players in their massive four-finger reaches trying to reach their 17.5-inch scale-length violas. Love you, viola players. So what we violinists do is we stretch our third finger up to that C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp when we have a G natural, a D natural, and an A natural right next to it all the time, so our third finger's always bouncing around. Very busy. So make life easier and happier by sharing the load with your fourth finger. Sort of like this. Terms and conditions apply. Don't do this all the time. Do it when it makes sense. Recovery is possible. Have fun. Here's another mandolin tip for recovering violinists. Numero 3. Sustained bass lines. Now, I know ultimately violinists have the claim for the ultimate sustain. You just continue bowing the note and it goes forever. Got it. But here's the thing. With a violin, when you're done bowing the note, it's done. So if you've always wanted sustain, fret not. We have frets. Wait a minute. These magical lines of metal open up new worlds to explore. Because with a bit of hard work and creative fingering, we have as much bass sustain as a pipe organ. No, wait. As much as a piano. Well, as much as a guitar? No. Okay, but at least more than a violin. So sustain those bass notes for all they're worth, like this. Recovery is possible. Have fun. Hey, look, it's another mandolin tip for recovering violinists. 4. Attention! The breakup is over. What breakup? I'm talking about breaking up your chords. Now, of course, for violin, unless you have a really flat bridge, aren't afraid of playing super loud, and have really been hitting the gym, sorry, because you got that curved bridge, you can only play 2 strings at a time. Well, welcome to mandolin. It's basically flat. So now you have a lot less planning to figure out where your downbeats are. So while you still can break up your chords if the spirit leads, you don't have to anymore. Like this. Recovery is possible. Have fun. It's another mandolin tip for recovering violinists. Números 5. Hold down in chord notes as much as you can. What do you mean in chord? Well, by in chord, I'm thinking notes that go along with the chord or really the mode of whatever little passage you happen to be playing in at that moment. Now, as a recovering violinist, you're used to having time to switch a finger from string to string in between bow strokes or as you're changing strings. So you may play a passage a lot like this. Which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but there's so much more magic you can get. Not just holding out the bass notes like I've said before, but as many notes as you can that are in chord, like this. Recovery is possible. Have fun.